Hello everyone, my name is Hilda and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing 5 resume mistakes that are killing your callbacks. So let's break it down together. If you have been applying consistently and it feels like your applications are just disappearing into thin air and you're not getting those callbacks, the truth is most likely that there's something missing, right? So the truth is the recruiters and the ATS tools scan really fast. So your resume has to communicate the impact quickly. So I'm going to walk you through 5 common mistakes and how you can fix those mistakes and those simple changes that you can make today that can help you get those callback if you have been consistently applying. So let's start with the number one mistakes that I see in some resumes that I've come across. People constantly list responsibilities, but they don't show the results. That's number one mistakes. Metrics, just duties. Recruiters are skimming fast, like I said, and they're skimming for impact, not tax list. So, in describing the first mistake, your resume is just reading like job descriptions instead of results report. Recruiters just don't want to, know what you were assigned to do. They actually want to know what changed because you did what you were assigned to do. So even if you don't have the perfect matrix, you can estimate responsibly, like numbers of stakeholders, numbers of stories, numbers of the workflows, frequency, and the time that was saved because of the work that you did, reductions in issues, etc. A simple formula that I think you can use for this is scope plus volume plus outcome, like you see on this slide. When you add those three things, your resume is instantly going to look more senior and more credible. So let's just start from there: scope, volume, and outcome. So in this slide, I'm showing you an example of both a good and a bad bullet point in your resume. A bad bullet point would be you saying responsible for gathering requirements. Yes, every business analysis, is responsible for gathering requirements. But to take it further, for you to get noticed by recruiters and the ATS tool, the good way you can write that is gathered requirement for 12 plus features across 5 stakeholders, reducing rework and improving delivery speed by 18%. So you see how you're adding those metrics to it. It makes it sound really more professional than just, generic. So now that you have those bullets showing the impact, the next issue that I see mostly in many resumes is that the resumes normally don't match the job they're applying for, which is not a good thing. Generic resumes for every job, having that one resume as one size resume for every job you're applying for, it's a no no. One size does not fit all. If you are going to be using the one size fits all method, then you're going to be getting fewer interviews or barely even no interviews. So that's taking us to that mistake number two. So sending the same resume to every single job, that approach usually, like I said, will not get you a call back from recruiters or from the ATS system. And recruiters are definitely searching for alignments. So if the job description, say for example, says they need SQL, dashboard, stakeholders management, agile delivery, and so on, but your resume leads with unrelated skills, you won't rank well. It's just what it is. You don't need to rewrite every single thing in your resume. You just need to tailor 3 places: your summary, your skills, ordering, and a few bullet points in your experience. Your goal is very simple. Make it obvious you match what they are looking for in the job description. So make it obvious that you're matching what they asked for. So even if you tailor your resume, sometimes you can still lose attention fast if your summary does not sell you in the first 5 seconds. As I mentioned before, recruiters and ATS tools are very quick, they scan really fast. So you need to be able to capture that attention within the first 5 seconds. All right. So that takes us to mistake number 3, which is a weak or missing summary. If your summary is weak, then it's most likely that you're not going to get that call back. So think of your summary as your elevator speech. So if you think of your summary as your elevator speech or your elevator pitch, if a recruiter is reading only the top section of your resume, they can immediately tell what role you want and why you are qualified for that role based on the job description. A strong summary doesn't have to be very long, so it can be 2 or 3 lines. That's enough. Doesn't have to be a long paragraph. So you need to include your role, your strongest skills, that will match with the job description, and then a quick proof point like the type of work that you have done or the outcomes that you have supported. Remember that, it's very important. All right. So a strong summary can include your target role, like you have in this slide, plus the year/level, then your core skills or core tools, domain or project type, and like I said, a proof point, impact, scale, or outcome. We have an example here for entry level business analyst position. Entry level business analyst skilled in SQL, process mapping, and stakeholder communication, experience supporting agile delivery and translating business needs into clear user stories. That is an excellent summary. So when you're writing your summary, keep this in mind, and I'm telling you, it's going to get that attention that you're looking for. So now a lot of people try to sound really impressive when they are writing their resume. So they're using buzzwords, but the words don't have proof. So buzzwords without proof is going to weaken trust. It's not going to sell. So don't try to sound really good with buzzwords. It's best that you prove it than using buzzwords. So which is taking us to mistake number 4. Mistake number 4, buzzwords without proof. Like, I'm a good team player. Everyone is a good team player on paper. How do you prove that in your resume without them even meeting you yet that you are a good team player? So let's take a look. Words like team player, like I said, and critical thinker are not bad, but they are meaningless if you don't prove them. As I earlier mentioned, the recruiters want to see examples instead of describing your personality. Show your behaviors and the outcomes of those behavior. So there is one solid bullet point with action, context, and impact that can really help you. That can do, it will do way more than 10 adjectives will ever do, like reduce reporting, reduce, I'm a good team player, I'm a good communicator, I'm a good critical thinker. How have you been all of this that you're mentioning? So let's take a look on this slide. Bad will be detail oriented. What is detail oriented? How are you going to show that? Reduce reporting errors by validating requirements and test cases before UAT. That's a better description. A bad one could be team player, like I mentioned before. Team player, what does that mean? Partnered with 6 cross-functional stakeholders to align scope and deliver on sprint goals. That's a better one. Another bad one, like I said before, critical thinker. What does that even mean? You can then say identify gaps in workflow logic and propose good process that cuts cycle time by 10%. So you're seeing that there are numbers in there showing the outcomes. So don't forget, remember, don't just put a bullet point, explain it, show it, improve it, and you're going to get that attention and those callbacks that you've been looking for. Which brings us to mistake number 5. Mistake number 5 is cluttered, hard to scan layouts. Recruiters spend seconds and not minutes, as I mentioned earlier. They scan quick and make that quick decision to either add you to the ones that are going to call back or not. So when your resume is cluttered and it's hard to scan through, the recruiters, I'm honestly going to tell you, nobody really sits down with a coffee and then read line by line, because most times they could be going through, like, for just one job, they are skimming through 200 or 300 applications. So yours need to catch their attention. So they're not sitting through coffee and reading line by line. So if your layout is dense, inconsistent, or crowded, it becomes work to understand what you're trying to communicate. So most of those recruiters will move on very fast. So what you need to do is to clean your formatting, make sure that there's consistent spacing. You need to have a strong header and a tight bullet that makes your resume feel professional and trustworthy. So now, tell me, which of these 5 mistakes do you think you have been making that has been hurting you the most or been hurting your resume and your applications to these jobs? Comment the number down below. And if you want, I can help you rewrite one bullet in your resume the right way. So you can send that in the comment section. If you can fix these 5 areas, I can tell you for sure that your resume will read faster, to rank better, and it will convert more applications into interviews. Don't forget, as I mentioned earlier, comment which mistake you think you are making, either mistake 1, mistake 2, 3, 4, or 5. And if you want, drop one bullet from your resume and I'm going to show you how to rewrite it with impact. So thank you again for joining me. And before we go, just 1 second, let me show you what a good and a bad resume looks like. So on my left here, I'm saying the bad resume, and then on my right is the good resume. So if you want to use this as a sample to write yours, it might not be the same job description that you're applying for or the same skills, but just take a look and then use that as a guide to help you write yours better. Just pause the video at this point and then use it to write yours. Like I offered, comment me one bullet point from your resume and let me help you rewrite it. I again want to say thank you for watching my video today. My name is Hilda, aka Hilda the Tech Bay. Have a wonderful weekend and I will see you in my next video. And before that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Share with your loved ones, like it, subscribe, tell people, tell your family, tell your friends, or anyone who is likely who wants to get into the business analyst space, or just anyone who is just starting as a business analyst. Thank you again for watching. Have a good day. Bye.